So I have, with a screwdriver, I have taken out the screw, and I'll set the pieces from the buckle away so that I don't lose any of the pieces. And then I measured, when I checked, the measurement I needed to take off was about 10 centimeters. So that brought me to a distance like this, and I need a very straight line. So I'm using the edge of the belt and then the rule, which I trust as very straight edges, so I can get a right angle and get a very straight line. So that's for my pre-tech class in JHS. And so I'm going to take this much off, and I'm going to use my rotary cutter. I do not want the line to go off. I do not want to break. I want a very smooth straight line. So this is how it goes. So the first one, the second, and the third, and there we have it. Okay, and now I'm done with my rotary cutter. Set it aside, and I need the same distance here, so I'll set the cut-off piece on the newly cut one, the rest of the belt, and mark out the spot I want, the spot the hole is supposed to be in. And then I pick a punch. I think this punch, this is small, but I think it would work. So I don't want the hole to be too big. And I'm done with this, so set it aside too. And I'm going to punch my hole. Make sure it's nicely centered. And punch. And there I have it. My hole nicely punched. So I'm going to pull my punch out teeth. So the holes look very similar. So I think we are fine. And all I need to do now is to fit this back. So you just have to be careful how it was fitted. So basically the hook is, the leather goes onto the hook. There's a bar that goes onto to hold and make sure it doesn't come off. And then there's the this part, it goes and comes on top too, so that when you wear your belt you can have it like locked in nicely. So if you see, we have a hole. I don't know if you can see the hole, so I'm sure light will travel in a straight line here. So here we go. But I want to polish the belt a little bit, so I'm going to set it aside and then go over with some liquid polish. Okay, so I have polished the leather pieces, so I'm going to assemble the belt. So this part goes, the pin goes through the middle, and I have this, and then there's this metal bar which now goes on to hold the buckle in place. The buckle is heavier than the leather, so this metal bar would hold it in place. And then next, the leather piece, this one, would go in this way. It has to come on top of the leather, so it goes in the middle, and we have this. And then I place my leather belt in here, and if you get the holes right, you realize all the holes align. So you can prove that by from the one end to the other, all the holes align. And the flat part of the this fastener would go like a pin. It would go in here, and because the hole is a little smaller than the original hole, I have to press and push, and it's sort of out here. So the screw will go in and then fasten it. And so with my screwdriver, turn, and you have to make sure when you are doing this, you do not go too much, otherwise as they say, it will cross thread. The screw has, like, the lines on the screw are called threads, otherwise the screw would go over, and then it wouldn't hold it anymore, or as you would want it to. So I'm done with this. I'm just touching up on the places I touched, and here I have it. I do have my belt, nicely polished. And I just decided, since he's not here to try them on and I wouldn't want to get there and have to do some extra work, I'm going to set one more hole in here. So with this, I'm just using my eyes to gauge correctly the spot for the punching. And we used this small punch earlier. I'm going to use a slightly bigger punch for, or should I use, I think I'll use the first one I picked, this one. So I'm going to use that. If you can see the mark I made, or it's made, yeah, small here. Yeah, so that's where I'm going to set my hole. And then one strike didn't do, the second strike has gone through. I'm just going to give it one more strike, and this is, I'm sure of. So I'm going to pull out my punch, and there I have it. And because I touched again, I'm just rubbing some of the waxes over. So I'm going to clean my table, and I'll leave this to dry before I come and pack it and send to the customer. So I'll see you in a bit.